They're designed to get us to read in hopes that we become readers for the rest of our lives. However, their true impact on kids works in the opposite direction. I'm Chuck West, and this is why reading logs make kids hate reading. Growing up, I remember being someone who read a lot because I had to for school. It was the same routine. Go to school, read 20 minutes, sleep, get the log signed by mom or dad, go to school, 20 minutes, sleep, get it signed every single day. I think one year they even made it 30 minutes a night. And I can recall beginning to not enjoy the reading that I was doing because it felt like another chore. When the summers would start, I wouldn't read anything. I needed the break. However, as I went from grade school to middle school, during the summers, we would begin to get summer reading books. Even when school was over, it really wasn't. I began to not read at all. When a book was assigned, I'd just go to Spark Notes or Cliff Notes. And this negative attitude towards reading stayed with me throughout high school. I was not alone also. Many of my peers had the same negative outlook towards reading. And this observation is not just anecdotal either. In the Journal of Research and Education, they did a bunch of studies on the effects of reading. And in one of the studies done by the National Education Association, it showed that time spent reading strongly correlated with benefits such as academic success, positive community involvement, and even a higher average salary. The main experiment in the same journal put 112 second and third grade students and split them up at random. 57 of the students were put in a category that had a voluntary reading log, and the other 55 had a mandatory reading log and were expected to read at least 20 minutes each night, as well as getting a parent signature to confirm. The students took a survey before and after the 2-month period on their interest in reading in general. The survey was on a 4-point scale, and the group with the mandatory reading log experienced a decrease in interest towards reading from start to finish. The differences in interest were even more visible when the students were asked about recreational reading or reading on their own. The mandatory reading log group had an even greater decrease toward recreational reading from before and after the experiment, while the voluntary reading log group had an even greater increase. Why is this, though? Why do reading logs make kids want to read significantly less? It comes down to something called intrinsic motivation. People are intrinsically motivated when they pursue an activity as an end in itself, or without any external motivators. When you undermine someone's intrinsic motivation, people are less interested in the activity, they perform lower quality work, and are less creative. Studies cited in the journal on surveillance, pressure, control, and deadlines all give a person a decrease in autonomy, which later leads to negative attitudes toward the activity. I can remember experiencing this in my own time with reading logs. In 3rd grade, our class was put on a 3-strike program each month. If you failed to bring your reading log or get it signed 3 times, then you missed out on the reward, which was an extra recess period each month. If you had 3 strikes, you had to stay inside for the entire 45 minutes to read, while everyone else got to play outside. I avoided 3 strikes every month, so I didn't have to worry about staying inside. But I can't imagine how I would feel about reading if I ever had to experience that. Another aspect that I think about is that I was good at reading. It came easily to me. Although it got tiring, the act of reading was not a challenge to me. I wonder how I would feel about reading if I was forced to do it every day while being bad at it. It's crazy that the kids in the experiment had a significant change in interest towards reading after only 2 months of the logs. What would happen if they kept the experiment going for 3 to 4 years? Reading is obviously important too. Billionaire Mark Cuban said that he reads 4 to 5 hours each day, and while that may be excessive, there's no way of measuring how positively reading has affected him. I remember I used to tell myself that I hated reading. Saying that I hate reading would be like saying I hate music. It's impossible. There may be types of reading or music that I hate, but saying I hate either is basically saying, I hate having eyes or ears or a brain. Some schools have ditched the traditional reading log, but I would argue that one school with reading logs is too many. Like I said, I used to say that I hate reading, and a lot of my peers feel the same way, but at least we all have something that we can blame. Reading logs. This is a new YouTube channel, and thanks for watching. If you like this video, hit subscribe, or don't, because you can do whatever you want, because you are an autonomous and intrinsically motivated individual who doesn't need any external motivators to do what you want. Regardless, thanks for bending the algorithm a little bit by watching. Peace.